Good evening. It is Monday night all over again. I hope everybody had a wonderful July 4th holiday week since it came in the middle of the week and people kind of stretched the whole week along to have a good time with friends and family and enjoy. Well, we had pretty good weather here in Florida. I understand that across the nation it got kind of crazy, but we had a pretty good time here in Florida. 88, 87, 90s, a couple of days, lots of rain, but that's normal this time of year. So anyway, I hope everybody had a great holiday. Just want to talk about some things that are coming up that I'd like you to be aware of. We are really looking to expand the Fresh Book Festival. So we want to get some idea of what it would take to bring the book festival to your hometown. Our hometown will always be Daytona. They have been with us since 2012, and we're not going to leave where we're rooted and planted. That's not going to happen. But maybe we could bring a one-day event to your town, to your city, just to give literacy some celebration. If we don't celebrate literacy, it's just not going to sink in. Celebrations are always things that you remember, right? And literacy, put your teeth in, is something that we all should remember. It's not something that should fall by the wayside. It's not something that we don't think about anymore. It's so, so, so important. And, we really must encourage our children to read. It doesn't matter what they read. Our reading rangers right now are reading comic books and they love comic books. So just find out what your son, your daughter, your husband, your wife really like to read and just make it a part of your family week or your family day or your family hour. Turn the television on. Take the games from the children and read together. Start a reading night with your children with one book. I mean, I don't know what book you could do. You could do any of the greats, the Grapes of Wrath, War and Peace, anything by, listen, I could sit here all day and tell you the books that you could read, but just one that maybe like if your son or your daughters like a particular cartoon character, well, where did that come from? Where did it come from? There's got to be a comic book about it or story about it. Even Mickey Mouse has a story about how it started and how Disney bought land here in Florida, started in California. You could talk about that. You could talk about um, anything by James Baldwin, of course, anything by, there's so many, but just pick a book to share with your family. And if you read out loud, the comprehension is much, much better. And if you as an adult are not comfortable reading out loud, have the children read to you. Because I understand that some adults may not be on a real good scale of reading, and especially reading out loud. And your children can help you, right? Because they think that they're reading for themselves, but you could actually say, listen, I could read, I could do some help reading too. So if you would read this to me, then we would help each other. 1 hour a day. Okay, can't do that. 1 hour every other day. But an hour, 5 hours during the week, cut it all. Everybody sit down, read to each other. And it could be the Bible. I mean, that's how we were able as a people to get to learn how to read. Um, I'm not sure how engaging that would be for children, but who knows if that's a way to put up make up their reading skills. The words there are kind of hard and depends on what version you're in, but still, just, you know, think about it as a family, think about it as a community. let's think about it as a nation. Reading is just so important. You cannot, I won't say you cannot. It is a much harder process to go through life if you have a reading deficiency of some point. And if you can curtail that deficiency by just 1 hour a day, 1 hour every 2 days to help with that ability to read, it would be wonderful. Fresh Book Festival has a tagline that says, literacy is a legacy. Leave some behind. We must know how important it is. So anyway, I'm always on that bandwagon. Tonight, I interviewed a young lady. Her name is Chanel Smith. And she wrote a book called Lonely Sunday, My Personal Journey with Vitiligo and Self-Image. Now, vitiligo is an autoimmune disease that takes the pigmentation from the skin. And most of the time, it starts with a very small portion of your body. And then, it just gets big. And then it's spotty and it goes all over. Now we have supermodels now that are um, out here modeling with vitiligo, but for the most part, it is still a hidden autoimmune disease, and people still try to cover it all up with makeup or jackets or full body armor so that nobody knows that they have this disease. I'm not sure how many people, I didn't look up that statistic in the United States, particularly melanated people who have the disease, but I know there are tens of thousands. So until we put these things out front like literacy, until we celebrate the fact that isn't an autoimmune disease, it's an autoimmune disease, and there's no cure. Okay, if there's no cure, then let's accept it. Let's make it a part of our community. If there's more than one person that has it, put them together. If you have a friend who is suffering from vitiligo, reach out to me. I will share the information with the young lady who has written the book. Because sometimes vitiligo can come from a trauma to the skin, and it won't last forever. But it's like alopecia. Some of it, I had it, didn't last forever. It was a certain kind of alopecia. And so and then there are others that your hair is not going to come back. And acceptance of that and bringing it to the community to know that you are not the only one. You're just not. You're just not. The Bold, Bald, and Beautiful, of course, is in September. Reach out to Angie B, who is the director of the Bold, Bald Beauty Bazaar, which will be held at the Museum of Arts in Daytona Beach in September. I don't have the date in front of me, but reach out, Angie B Productions. She'll give you all that information. And let's talk about Fresh Book. So it's July. It's almost, it's mid-year. And we want the 13 authors that were there in the beginning to join us as our features. And we want to get some idea about their journey over these last 13 years. Mr. James Bennett, if you hear this, please reach out. Love to see you again. He was one of my youngest authors at one point, and he came as a student at Bethune-Cookman University. And James, I'd love to see you again. I know it's been hard for you to get back and forth from where you live now, but please reach out. We really want you to be here. And honestly, I don't remember who the first 13 were. I have to go look at the picture because it's 13 years ago as of next year. And we had a pandemic and a lot happened in 13 years. And so I will be sure to look at that picture. And we're still looking for short film producers and directors. We want to, sci-fi was really good last year. So I think we want to kind of continue that melanated sci-fi. Went over very, very well at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, of course, because that's a sci-fi school, aeronautics. And we really like to do that again. So if you know someone who has a science film, scientific film, ones that feature ladies, I know that Lamont Gant and Marla Mikulski introduced ladies uh, at the last book festival, which I thought is fabulous because it's really a male-dominated Star Wars and all that is pretty much male-dominated. So it was really nice to see melanated women in that scenario. When is the Fresh Book Festival? It is in February, February 22, 23, 24, in the beautiful city of Daytona Beach, and registration will start August 1st. I just, every week I come on Monday just to let people know that reading is important. If you read a periodical, if you read only how-to books, that's fine. But take a moment, turn off the TV, and read something in the quiet space of your home. A little music on, uh, so that you will begin to be comfortable sitting there reading in your own thoughts, and having your children see you read. One of the things my father did was read the newspaper every morning and do the puzzle. And so reading to us was second nature because that's what he did. And if you read, your children will read. And you should even read to your baby when it's, still in the womb, because the voice to baby can be heard. It's literacy. It's a legacy. Let's leave some behind. It's the Fresh Book Festival. It'll be here in February in the beautiful city of Daytona Beach. Thank you very much. And if you want to find out more information about acceptance of your self-image, your body image, and the fact that you have something that there's no cure, but it doesn't end your life. It could be the beginning of your life. You could share your journey with others with something like vitiligo, something like alopecia, something like me, a person who has too many moles to talk about, because you believe that nobody else in the world has that many moles on their body, right? But you'll come to find that there are tons of people who have the same thing that you think is disgusting, right? But they have accepted and have moved on with their lives, accepting their bodies, accepting their body image, and knowing that you are wonderfully made. And acceptance is part of that. Okay. So when the lights go out and the cell phone towers go down, all you have left is a flashlight and a good book. Good night.